Hello. Hey everyone, I'm Scott and I'll be your vocal coach for today. Let's go. What a simple yet captivating introduction. What we're hearing is an a cappella moment for that instrument. I think it's called a saz. You know, just giving that sound its own space to play. It's really setting up the mood for the rest of the performance to come. I'm really loving it.
Aramıza girmiş dağlar, denizler, gelemem diyorum, sen gel diyorsun. Kar yağmış yollara, örtünmüş dizler, örtünmüş dizler. Bulamam diyorum, öf öf, sen bul diyorsun. Sen bul diyorsun. Kar yağmış yollara, örtünmüş dizler, örtünmüş dizler. Bulamam diyorum, öf öf, sen bul diyorsun. Sen bul diyorsun.
Let's talk about 7 things that I'm noticing in this first verse. Number 1, the creak in his voice.
Dağlar, denizler,
Number 2, the vocal slide down on the word off.
gelemem diyorum, öf öf.
Number 3, his lip position. Cem uses different lip positions to create contrast in brightness and darkness in his sound.
Örtünmüş dizler,
But what also adds to the warmth in his sound? It's the proximity of his mic to his mouth. It's at a very close and intimate distance. Number 4, his low notes on the words.
bulamam diyorum, öf öf.
They are not hollow, not breathy, and not hooty. They are thick in sound because there's a slight twang to it. Number 5, his hammer vibrato.
Sen bul diyorsun.
Number 6, let's break down this particular note right here. Is it a short or a long note? Yep, it's a long note. And how long does he sustain that long note for? does he choose to sing it with? The vowel. How would you describe that sound? Is it soft and breathy or thick and strong? Yeah, it's thick and strong. Does he sound like he's bored or he's crying? Yeah, he's crying. Not a full-on intense sort of cry, but there's a hint of sadness in his sound. And finally, number 7. Here, Cem is showing off a really effective microphone technique to create dynamic. He does this by leaning into the mic, and then he lifts his chin up, tilts his head back, and leans back away from the mic. And what happens to the voice? It fades off with that action.
Sanma bu sevgimiz sence ay kara. Ne dertler bıraktım öf öf hep sıra sıra. Sen yoksun ya böyle ıssız Ankara, sensiz Ankara. Duramam diyorum öf öf, sen dur diyorsun. Sen dur diyorsun. Sen yoksun ya böyle ıssız Ankara, sensiz Ankara. Duramam diyorum öf öf, sen dur diyorsun. Sen dur diyorsun.
Okay, this verse here shows off Cem's ability to play around with rhythm within words and within phrases. He does this in 3 ways. Number 1, by leaning into certain consonants, specifically the S and the Z consonant.
Sen yoksun ya böyle ıssız Ankara, sensiz Ankara.
The physical setup is the same, but one is voiced and one is unvoiced. Number 2, by phrasing the words off in 2 different ways. Well, the first set of off contains the same rhythm. They are both enunciated in the same way with the same length of time, skipping over and landing a semitone down.
Ne dertler bıraktım öf öf.
Whereas for the second set of off, we can hear that the first off is shorter. And then he immediately moves into the second off, where he holds it for just a tad longer.
Duramam diyorum öf öf.
Let's hear it side by side so we can really hear the difference.
Öf 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 öf.
And lastly, by holding on to certain vowels.
Issız Ankara, sensiz Ankara.
Holding on to them is really important because they contain the emotions. Did everyone hear that weird sound effect? It's right here. Because we can't see what he's doing up close, I have 2 possible theories. I have a feeling he's manipulating that sound with his tongue. By making small yet subtle movements with his tongue inside his mouth. Or he could be playing around with different jaw positions, up and down or side to side. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below.
Kızıl sonbaharımı yazımı hangi kalem yazmış öf öf beni dertli sazımı, dertli sazımı çalamam diyorum. Sen çal diyorsun, sen çal diyorsun.
His breath control is outstanding. Cem is using his breath intentionally to create an emotion. I'm hearing desperation and urgency in his voice. I love how Cem releases his breath at the end of these particular vocal lines.
Kızıl sonbaharımı yazımı hangi kalem yazmış öf öf benim yazımı.
And also how he inhales audibly after the words off off. Using breath as an expressive tool is one of the many key devices in a singer's toolkit.
Dert ortağım olan dertli sazımı, dertli sazımı çalamam diyorum. Öf öf sen çal diyorsun, sen çal diyorsun.
Cem is doing two things with that end consonant. First, he chooses to sustain that end consonant.
Dert ortağım olan
Most singers will choose to hold on to the vowel, but professional singers also choose to hold on to consonants, as it is equally or even more so emotionally expressive. And secondly, he lets that end consonant swell up. In other words, he gradually makes the volume louder and louder and then pulls everything back in.
sen çal diyorsun, sen çal diyorsun.
He gives the audience and the listeners a resolution, the closure we need at the end when we finish listening to a song. Cem did it again. Now, he didn't show off as many vocal techniques or voice qualities as he did in Summertime, but he didn't need to in this particular song. Remember, just because you can do it doesn't mean that you have to use it every single time. And so for me, the magic was in the delivery of the tension between Cem and his lover. And this relationship between tension and release was beautifully expressed in his vocal phrasing and his vocal techniques. He gave each contrasting element time and space to be heard, and it carried my attention all the way through to the end of the performance. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for being here and for learning with me. A big shout out to everyone who recommended this performance of Cem's. That was really fun. Head over and check out other amazing singers on the channel as well, and I'll see you there.